Alright, the distance above the ground in feet of a projectile is given by the function d of t. It does appear that there is a minor typo here. It should be negative 1.125, not 1.12 to the fifth. T squared plus 75, where t is time measured in seconds after the projectile is fired. And we want to write a function t of d, which will tell you the time when the projectile is at a given distance. So think about the difference between the function that they want us to write, that we are asked to write, versus the function that we are given. The function we're given, the dependent variable is d. It depends upon t. In other words, we have written d in terms of t. And what they want is a function t in terms of d. So this should remind you of the inverse operations that we have. So if we start with d is equivalent, the distance is equivalent to negative 1.125 t squared plus 75. And what we eventually want is we want some function which has t in terms of d. So we need to solve for t, and we will of course subtract by 75 on both sides. So d minus 75 is equivalent to negative 1.125 t squared. Alright, now we will divide by negative 1.125. So I'm actually going to move t squared over to the left. I'm going to have t squared is equal to d minus 75, all divided by, and I'm just going to put the negative out front here, 1.125. And now I need to square root both sides. And usually when I square root, I consider that I take both the positive and the negative version. But think about what we're doing here. That would kind of be saying that we would allow a negative time value, and that's not going to be something that we're really interested in, because we're only concerned with the positive time. So in this case, we actually can forget the negative and we'll just go with the positive. So t is d minus 75, all divided by 1.125, and there's a negative out front. So this function, now when I plug in a distance, will tell me the time when the projectile is at that distance. And that of course can be very valuable, because let's say you know that you're trying to shoot down the projectile, and you can shoot it down only when it is at a certain distance. So you want to find when it is at that distance, and you will plug in the distance and it will give you the time.